Hello, happy Tuesday. This word for you today is sacrifice and simplify. Sacrifice and simplify. What are we talking about here? Well, in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7, God gave Moses words to tell the people. And this is this verse. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. What's he talking about? He's talking about God's teachings. He's talking about his word. Impress them on your children. The truths that God has. Sacrifice and simplify. Well, what is sacrifice? Sacrifice is the surrender of something of value for the sake of something else. It means you have to give up something of value to receive something else. And really what our devotion is talking about here is making time for the things that are most important. And that's what Moses was talking about in Deuteronomy 6:7. Take the time to teach your children. Why? Why should we take that time? Why is it important? Well, one reason it's so important to spend time with family is the bonding that goes on. And that bonding really can't happen unless you spend time together. Living together doesn't mean you have relationships. No, it's when we spend time together and we work on things and we overcome things, that's what bonds us together. That's where relationships are truly made. Ball teams, working relationships, war, different things like that. Those are the things people are coming together to accomplish a certain task, a goal, and they're doing it together and they overcome obstacles, and that's what brings them together. And that's what Moses is telling us to do with our children. Spend the time to bond together. So the first time is bonding time. Second thing is intentionally taking time to be together. It teaches the value of family. Time is the most valuable resource that we have. You can't get it back. We get the same amount of time. Everybody gets the same amount of time every day. And what we do with that time is up to us. But we don't get to carry over anything till tomorrow. What we do with this time is then gone. So when we give someone our time, what are we saying to them? Saying, you're important. You are worth my time. And our children really need to hear that. The third thing, it develops mental well-being. You say, what do you mean, spending time together as family? Well, kids have questions. And if you don't spend time together, there's really not a time for them to ask those questions. And if you're not spending time together and you're not bonding together, they probably don't trust you to ask those questions. They're going to ask somebody. So spending time with family develops mental well-being. And then the fourth thing, it tells the child that he or she is loved. When you take time to spend time with them, you're saying to that child, you are important to me. You are worth it. The fifth thing, reduces stress and creates a safe environment. Children sometimes are worried about things that we have no idea about. We had no idea that it concerned them. But when we spend that time together, they're able just to open up and talk about that thing they're afraid of. Their friends don't like them. They're afraid of the dark. They don't like going to bed. Whatever it might be. They're stressing about some things that you don't know until you create that safe environment for them to talk about those things. So why is it important we spend time with our family? All of those things. Spending time together, giving them opportunities to talk. It helps their well-being and their mental health and reduces stress. So how do we create these times together? You say, well, we live in the same house, but how do we? Well, family dinners. Sit down at a table together without the TV on, without everybody on their phone. Sit down at the table and talk. How was your day? How'd that go? Try doing that every now and then. Ask questions. If nobody's talking, ask questions. Well, what did you do today? What did you learn today? What's your favorite color? Ask questions and get to know one another. Game nights, playing games. When you play games, you find out some things. You find out who's competitive and who isn't. You find out who likes to cheat and who doesn't. You find out all kinds of things about each other. working on a project or a hobby together. Again, you've got something you're trying to accomplish, and when you do it together, it just brings you together. Most of the time. Sometimes it can be kind of frustrating, but don't give up. Keep working on it. And then maybe just taking a walk together. It's incredible some of the questions you can talk about when you're on a walk. Things that just pop into a child's mind or somebody else that you're walking with. Just the things that come up. When we spend time together, teachable moments occur. And those teachable moments are when something happens and boom, there's an opportunity to teach and they are paying attention. As opposed to sitting them down around a table and says, okay, I'm going to teach you this. Good luck. Good luck keeping their attention and them learning anything. Following the death of Albert Einstein's wife, Albert had a sister, Maha, and she moved in to help take care of the home and other things around him because Albert was working so hard on all his work that he did. And for 14 years, she took care of her brother and took care of the home so that he could continue working on the important things that he worked on. He's arguably one of the brightest minds there ever was. Well, in 1950, she had a stroke and fell into a coma. From that point on, every day, Albert spent 2 hours reading to her from the philosophy of Plato. Now, there was never any indication that she understood anything or even heard him, but he continued to do it anyway. Why? Because she was worth his time. Now you say, well, you should have been reading the Bible. Okay, agreed. But the issue here is that one of the brightest minds of all time, Albert Einstein, considered 2 hours a day worthwhile to spend with a sister who, as far as he knew, couldn't understand a single word he was saying. Let me ask you, who in your family is worth your time? We'll show that by spending time with them. Have a good day.